welcome to our Booksplosion Mockingjay live show. Woo! And we're going to be talking about today Mockingjay, of course, by Suzanne Collins, and we're going to be comparing it to the movie, and we're going to be talking about both halves of Mockingjay. So if you have not finished the book, then you might want to leave because we will spoil you. Be warned. Yeah, I'm Pullman as Books. This is my channel.
Hi guys, I'm Jessica from Prices Wong.
Hi, I'm Kat from Katie-tastic.
Hello, I'm Tiernan from the BookTuber.
And Jesse should be joining us soon. His internet copped out last minute and we lost him. It was very dramatic. But we are here and we're going to start it off here. I'm going to quickly let you know about the question app, which is in one of these corners. It says like Q&A, and you click on it and you can ask us questions and up the ones you like. So we'll be answering those further in, but we're going to start with initial thoughts. I think we should first talk about what you thought of the book, and then what you thought of the movie first impressions, and then we'll go into, like, you know, how it's changed with the reread afterward. Jess, you want to start us off?
So I did reread this, but I love Mockingjay, and we can talk about that like later. But I do love it. I did love it more the second time I reread it. But because I used to say that it was like my least favorite of the three, but I don't really agree with that anymore. And I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. But I also love the movie, and I love the Hunger Games movies. I think they're like some of the best adaptations besides maybe like Harry Potter or something. But no, I don't really have that many problems. So I feel like I'm just going to be talking about good things like almost the entire time.
Kat?
Okay, well, I always loved Mockingjay as well. Like, I know there was the whole controversy when it came out. Like, some people hated it. I feel like that always happens with final books, though. But the only thing I didn't like about the book was that I felt the ending was a little bit rushed. So, otherwise, I gave it 5 stars. I love the book. And I love the movie, too. It was such a part 1 movie, though. Like, it's so much build-up, and it was a fantastic adaptation. Like, it was totally faithful and amazing and wonderful, but the first half of the book isn't as awesome as, like, the second half of the book or the other books. So I like Catching Fire movie better than this one, but I still feel like it was a fantastic adaptation.
Tiernan,
I agree. Like, when it first came out, that's when I read it, and I was sort of, like, it took me forever to read, and I kind of thought I was one of those people who was like, oh, this is so boring, it's my least favorite, but now it's like it's probably close to my favorite book in the series now. I don't know why I was so much more into it the second time around, but I just really enjoyed getting back into the Hunger Games world because it's been so long at this point, and like even the beginning chapters when people complain about how boring those are, I was really into them. Like, I loved rereading it. So I'm really glad that I was able to reread Mockingjay. And then the movie, I hear a lot of complaints that that's boring too, but I was like into it every second of it. So I don't know, it might be my favorite movie so far, which is shocking,
awesome.
but I don't know.
The movie was, I feel like the movie was better than the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the 2 movies as a whole are going to be better than a book. But, like, it just bothers me to no end when people say something is boring when something is slow. There's a difference between slow and boring. And, like, the movie was slower, not boring, unless you just don't pay attention to movies. Like, it's about a rebellion building. So, like, if you have no attention span, then, yeah, I guess it's boring. Like, but I honestly don't think... when there's no plot, that's when something is boring, and there's a plot. It's happening. But when I first read Mockingjay, like the second it came out, I was so excited, and like I didn't know that people didn't like it. Like when I finished it, until like I put up a book talk like a few days, like 2 days after it, and like I was just raving about it, I think, and like talking about how I cried and all that stuff. And then, like, in the comments, people were like, oh, I hated the end, and, like, why did Finnick die, and blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, so I loved it. But then on second read, I read it again, like, in 2012, and, like, I saw what people were talking about, but I still liked it. And I love the movie. I think the movie was phenomenal, and I love how how brave they are with the films. You know, like they will go slow and they don't care, like because they're building the movie the way they want to do it. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're doing better. The movie is kind of better than the book in so many ways. Like, did you guys reread Mockingjay before or after seeing the movie?
A little bit of both for me.
About 2 years before for me.
I had planned to before completely, and I got like maybe 2 chapters in, but yeah, I just finished it all like this week, so it was after.
I read it after, and just reading like in the first chapter where you have Katniss in District 12,
Yeah.
and like briefly narrates about how Gale saved all the people. It was done so much better in the film where you actually got to see that, and where Gale took over the narration and was talking about what it was like for him doing that. I was just like, that was a great change. Like, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, you could just see, like, I read, like, the first chapter of the book again, like, now, and just from the very first chapter, she's like, yeah, I wanted to go. They didn't want me to come see it, but I needed to see it. And in the movie, they changed it, so they were manipulating her. They were like, they wanted her to go, and Gail was like, oh, you don't have to. And she's like, no, it's okay, I have to go. Like, it was just a totally different view of what was going on, and I think it like really sets the stage for the manipulation that Coin is trying to accomplish a lot better.
That's what I've always liked about the movies, that we get to like see inside the Capitol and outside of just Katniss's point of view.
Yeah, because they needed it.
Like, we all know that Katniss has a lot of issues in this book, and it's apparent. But maybe this is just me, like, maybe you guys didn't do this, but when I read Mockingjay, I think in some ways it didn't hit me. I mean, I knew that she had issues, and, like, I mean, she's still a teenager in this book, and she has, like, PTSD. But in the movie, I feel like Jennifer Lawrence did such a great job when she's, like, talking to herself in the dark, and I just really hit me that this girl has gone through so much, and I don't know, it just really was like super obvious how emotionally like scarred and just everything. Like when she goes hunting with Gale and she doesn't want to shoot, I believe in the book they did actually kill animals and stuff and bring it back, but in the movie she's like, I don't want to kill this, because it's like flashbacks to the Hunger Games obviously, but I liked that a lot too.
Yeah, yeah.
And that makes more sense to her character than what actually happened in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you just really felt her emotional scarring. Like, you felt it in the book if you were paying attention, but, like, you could see it. It's just so much more impactful. And the way in the book that she's, like, emotionless sometimes, like, she would just be like, I did this, and I saw these people, and then I took a nap, and then like, so it's obvious. It's just, like, I don't know. I feel like some people do that. And I will admit, I read Mockingjay too fast the first time. Truthfully, I think I was the person, like, just wanted to see what was going to happen. I think I read it too fast. So it was really another reason why I wanted to reread it. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's acknowledge Jesse before he disappears again.
Sorry.
Jesse, your final thoughts.
My initial thoughts of the film?
Everything.
Everything. Well, I didn't get the chance to reread the book, which I really wanted to do, but when I had first read the book, it became my favorite book in the trilogy, and I know that's like a mixed thing to say, like not everybody thinks it's like that great or whatever, but I really liked it. I really liked how real and raw and just emotional it was. And I loved the film. It was such a fantastic adaptation, and I think they did perfectly with it. I didn't think they were going to fail at all with it, though. Like, I thought it was going to be good anyways. I feel like they've given us so much so far. How they do anything wrong? So, yeah.
I love the movie so much, and now that I have just finished this book, like, yesterday, I'm so excited for part 2, because so much crazy stuff is going to happen.
I'm glad that we have this time to, like, prepare ourselves for part 2.
Do you guys have any negative things about the movie?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go first. Go ahead.
I'm curious, how many of you thought that splitting it into 2 parts was bad before, and obviously we all think it's a good idea now, am I right? Like, what did you guys think before seeing it?
I had mixed feelings about them splitting it in 2, but now that I've seen the first part, like, I'm excited that we're getting another, like, movie to be excited for, so.
I think I said this a lot, but like I was all for it. I was so excited, and I was
Yeah.
so like I went on Tumblr, and everyone was like, "What the f? Why are they doing this? They're just banking on more money, and it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, they're getting more money, but we're getting more movies. So like, why do you care?"
I feel like anyone that loved the book is always gonna want more, and I don't know. I've watched. I mean, there's been other stuff with like 2 parts, and like now with The Hobbit. I was like, Mockingjay is not that big, so that was what I was confused about. I was like, are they adding stuff? Now that I reread it, I realized no, there's so much stuff that they can
Yeah.
easily fill 2 movies. But like with The Hobbit, that's a small book, and they're making it into 3 parts, and they're doing an awesome job with that. So it's like, I don't know. I always want more movies. I wish like every movie was like 2 parts.
See, I'm kind of mixed on it because while I do love that we get more movie and that they have the time to do everything, it was the problem that I had with the movie was that the story isn't a full story arc. It's like half of a story arc, which is fine because it is like a part 1 and a part 2, but I like that complete story arc happening in like one movie or one thing, you know?
Too bad.
I think it's cool with like coin though, like how we haven't. I feel like in the movie it just touched on kind of I guess the similarities between like District 13 and the Capitol, but I feel like I talked to a lot of my friends that have never read the books and like what they thought of coin and stuff like that from the movie. And because obviously I, know her from the books more than they do and stuff, and so I feel like it's kind of interesting to see like how she was portrayed in the first part compared to how she'll be portrayed in like the second part when Katniss realizes like since you said that we're telling spoilers and stuff like when Peeta is sent to join their group and Katniss realizes like okay this means that Coin like for sure wants me dead because Peeta has been like programmed to kill Katniss basically. So I'm kind of excited to see how her story goes like Coins in the movie and stuff.
Yeah, I think one movie for Mockingjay would have been annoying and rushed, but after after reading it, I realized that because I was sort of one of those people that was like, what's the point of that? I mean, it was slow anyway, but now I'm all for it, obviously.
Yeah.
I wanted like one 5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Never give it to her.
Them together. Like I loved everything about this first part except that I want the second part to be connected to it.
I'm really excited to see like Joanna training with
Yes.
I think that's gonna be really fun and like probably really messed up because they're both really messed up, but fun. Should we go into questions?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, the first question here we have is, what was your opinion of the addition of Effie in District 13? I loved it. I think we all kind of loved it, but go ahead.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was like in the book it's not Effie, it's her team, and they actually are like mistreated and kept like locked up and imprisoned.
Yeah, doesn't she find them in like a room like with
in a dungeon that like trick the guard to get into, and she's like, what are they doing here? And that was kind of what Jess was just talking about, how we don't get to see how manipulative and cruel Coin is and how controlling District 13 is in this movie. Like, you remember they had the schedules? Like, every morning you wake up and your schedule tattooed on your arm and you have to follow it. And there's all the food rations and, like, it was a really, like, military district. And we didn't see that as much. Especially with Effie, like I loved her being included, but it didn't exactly help the District 13 is a terrible place thing because like she's in her little room and she's making clothes and she's like, oh, this is prison when it's really not, and they're like, you're not a prisoner here. But I loved Effie. I thought it was fantastic she was there, and it showed like her character growth in how she was like dealing with all of this. And it was like there was a stronger emotional connection to Effie than to the rest of the team, which we haven't really seen in the movies before anyways.
Yeah, it really fleshed out Effie's character in the movie. Like she has a lot more impact on you as a character than she does in the book, at least for me. Like even in Catching Fire, like I had tears in my eyes at times when she said stuff. And like in the book I don't think I was like that.
I saw this gift set on Tumblr of like Effie at the first reaping and Effie at the second reaping, and just the difference between her there, where she's like so like, oh, who's next, la la la, and then when she has to pull Katniss's name and like she looks physically in pain doing so.
Yeah. I remember
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say I remember watching the trailer and I like actually like started crying when I saw that face.
I'm so happy. I feel like everyone loves Effie, so I think no one was probably upset that she was like added. Because also it's not like she really took away from anything. Like if you rereading the book, I mean she had a few of like Finnick's lines and Haymitch's lines, what they added to the movie, like whenever she was saying like, what was it? They'll either want to like kiss
you, kill you, or be you.
Something be you. Remember? Yeah. And but I just love Effie. I thought she was awesome in it. I'm so happy she was there.
Jesse, Tiernan, you have anything to add?
I think you guys hit the nail on the head with that. Like, I was so happy with her being there, and I think Elizabeth Banks does such a great job. I mean, there's nothing to add, I think.
Yeah, I think we ship Hayfie.
Not really.
What?
Haymitch and Effie.
No, thank you.
It's weird. But I like without Effie, we wouldn't have had. Maybe we would have had like one chuckle, like in the whole film.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we really needed her in this film because it's such a depressing film. So we needed her comic relief. So
no, in the book though, Finnick was the funny one, and they took out like a lot of his stuff.
What was up with that? We didn't get very much Finnick in this movie.
Yeah, I was told we would get to see Finnick O'Dare in his underwear.
That part was hilarious.
Yeah, and then, I remember that scene in the book, and I was just like, where is it?
And then remember Boggs was like, he said something, oh, sorry, Tiernan.
No, go ahead.
He just said something about, like, sorry, you're going to have to do more, like, to this process. We just saw Finn in his underwear. And, like,
one of the, like, one of Katniss's team is talking about how pretty Gale is, and Boggs is like, yeah, he's all right, but we just saw Finnick O'Dare in his underwear, so.
Yeah.
So the next question, moving on here, is Deathly Hallows Part 1 or Mockingjay Part 1? And I'm always going to pick Deathly Hallows, so Deathly Hallows for me.
It's a really close call, but
Why are you putting us in this position?
Yeah, it's not really a fair position.
I would say Deathly Hallows just because I do feel like that had a better arc for a Part 1 movie, maybe. I don't know. They're both really good.
I think it kind of, like, when you guys were talking about it being slow, not boring, but, like, slow earlier, I did think, like, I mean, Deathly Hallows, there was so much with them in the beginning, like, setting up, finding, you know, the Horcruxes and stuff, but I still loved it. I guess that's just kind of how Part 1, like, movies are. But I loved Mockingjay, like, the entire time. I was so excited for it. I don't know. I guess Deathly Hallows, because I don't know. As a series,
it had more impact on our life, you know, like the Harry Potter series. So it's hard for us to choose a series that was just 3 books, like wasn't with us as long, you know.
Right.
Like obviously the Harry Potter series has more of a emotional attachment to us, but I don't know. Mockingjay Part 1 was pretty good.
I think like a film critic would pick Mockingjay for sure. And like, but I don't know. I mean, like, just Harry Potter. I'm just repeating myself, but like meant more to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna say both. So.
Peter.
Okay. The next question we have is, what did you think about the Hanging Tree song? Is this even a question? Were you surprised Jen was singing? I think the whole world is in agreement. That was like the best, most moving song in the whole. I couldn't.
I got goosebumps while listening to it. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
It really.
Can we talk about the text version?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm like lagging or something. It's really weird.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, all I was saying was with the song and the other districts, and it showed them like climbing the trees, and then it showed them marching towards the dam, and it was just so like empowering and just intense. It was really intense.
It was gorgeous. It was wonderful. It was all the good adjectives.
What was the name of the band that wrote the melody? I forgot.
Lumineers.
The Lumineers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question we have here is, what scene are you looking forward to the most in part 2? I'm looking forward to the scene in the basement with the furs.
I will say the part I'm not looking forward to is when they're in the tunnels with the mutts, and it scares me to death when they're like whispering catnip.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Finnick,
Would that be the one?
and it's terrifying, and then I just reread it yesterday, and I was freaking out.
Oh, did you guys all hear that Finnick's not gonna die in the movie?
What? Yes,
I
he
know.
will.
What?
He has to.
It's not confirmed. They wouldn't confirm that right now.
Oh, but Suzanne Collins is the one that said it, they said.
Do you remember how like he died though? 3 of them started to kill him.
Right?
He like sacrificed himself kind of to.
Well, remember like 2 of them sacrificed themselves like to kind of fend off like the mutts, and then that worked for a little bit. And then Finnick was like with like 3 versus Finnick, and then all of a sudden Katniss like looked down and she like couldn't help him, and they were like about to go for like the final like and then she dropped what was it called? The thing she took from Boggs that like showed the map, like the graph thing. She dropped it. She said Nightlock like 3 times and then it exploded. So she like kind of ended Finnick. Like she helped him so he wouldn't have to be like torn apart by monsters basically, and kind of like in Kato with the first movie.
Oh god. Yeah. Just someone said that like Suzanne Collins like always regretted the fact that she killed Finnick. And I'm like, you can't change it now.
But some of these authors going back like, oh, Harry and Ginny shouldn't, or Ron and Hermione shouldn't have ended up together.
Thinking of that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you can't do that. I am looking forward to Finnick and Annie's wedding, and when Peeta does the cake, and that's gonna be like sweet because they're finally reunited.
I don't even remember their wedding. Is it at the end?
I forgot it too. I forgot Peeta did the cake.
I know. Wait, where is it in the book?
It's in the second. I mean, it's like in the second part after they get Peeta back and everything, and it's not that like long later that they're like hitched, and then they like never stop holding hands even when they're like eating and stuff, and yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't remember that.
Happens in that book, and like the wedding takes up like 1 page, or if that, and then like.
I remember how quick Mockingjay was.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we all talk? Jesse, did you talk?
So
I did not, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they do the Katniss killing coin scene.
I am too.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's gonna mirror the end of this movie. I think it's like the same sort of shots with her walking in the hallway.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think it's gonna be really intense. I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting to see how they do it.
I think that's mine too. What was that scene that Jennifer Lawrence almost died filming in Atlanta?
What?
That was
It was like a year ago.
Yeah, it was Catching Fire. It was the fog scene. She almost choked to death on fog.
Oh my god.
Oh, are you sure that was a Mockingjay? Okay.
Maybe. I don't remember exactly.
Another thing.
It was Mockingjay Part 2.
They were catching fog in there. I remember. I feel like it has something to do with the smoke machine. So
Yeah.
It could be in Mockingjay Part 2. There's going to be lots of lore happening and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not looking forward to when all the children are in front of like Snow's place and they drop the parachutes and a lot of them die, and then Prim goes and then the fire explodes and like Katniss and Peeta get super burned, and like it's just gonna be so bad.
I want to see that scene though. I want to see how they do it. I mean, I'm not looking forward to Prim
It's gonna be
dying,
such an emotional wreck, the second film.
I
Like, I'm
know.
so glad we have this time to prepare ourselves for it. Because, like, having it all in one film, like, I just don't think I would have been able to sit there and, like, not just, like, die crying.
I I can't. Did you guys cry when Prim died in the book?
I didn't because like it happened. So I was like, did that really just happen?
Yeah. Everything was just so shocking in Mockingjay.
I think I cried from the time like Finnick died just till the end.
I think I did too. I
It was constant tears, like trying to read, and I couldn't see anything.
I remember being like more hysterical when Prim died because I'm like, I can't believe that you're all dead.
Yeah. Like she set this all in motion, sort of, and then it comes to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, another scene, not like a specific scene, but something that I'm really looking forward to is seeing Katniss and Peeta, like Peeta become unhijacked. Like, I want to see him better, and the real, not real thing. I want that to like, because they're both so like broken at this point, and I want them to start getting better again.
Yeah, for sure. The next question we have here is, what did you think of Josh's acting when Peeta was hijacked? I thought it was good. He was more psychotic than I imagined.
The choking scene. Okay, like in the book, it's like Peeta's hands close around my throat, and it's like chapter end.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's like
She's
attacks
like
her, and it goes on.
It goes on. When her head hit the floor, it was just like the biggest cringe. Like
Her eyes were so scary. They were like bulging out. I was like, oh.
horrifying.
So scary.
You know what was scarier though? The scene when she woke up with the brace. Like that was so.
It's like, oh.
The way she looked and like the way she tried to talk, it was literally it was a horror movie scene.
Yeah, it really was.
And like when he breaks the glass with her head, like I had there was a fight at my school yesterday where that literally happened at a trophy case. Someone like broke the glass.
Oh my god!
Oh my word!
I think she did.
Go to.
These things happen, Pat.
You're going to private school next year, Tierney.
I think he did an amazing job, but I think that we just barely saw any of it. Like we just saw a second of that. It's all the acting with that is going to be in the second movie when like he's talking to Katniss and he's like, you're a piece of work. Like when he's telling her like how it is. Like it's sad though because she no longer sees him or he no longer sees her as like. I mean, he still at this point he really doesn't see like the good in her, and it's just kind of all the negative things. But that's when we're gonna see really him acting like at the cafeteria or whatever, and he's talking, and then that one girl Deli, I don't know if she's gonna be in part 2, but she's like the one that they were kids together, and she like sticks up for Katniss. Do you guys remember that? I guess
I don't remember
that.
Kat and Tiernan, didn't you just reread that? Yeah.
I read it a couple of weeks ago after I saw the movie.
It's just there's so many little things that happen that get like rushed over so fast.
Yeah, it's like abrupt and like Finnick dies in like 2 lines.
And they just keep moving. Like it just keeps going.
Yeah, because it's like it has that whole like it's like war. Like
It's a war, so they have to keep moving.
It's like Divergent when she like sees her mom die and she's like 1, 2, 3, and then she sees her dad die and then she like counts and then she like moves on. It's just so like robotic, but that's how she stays alive. Like they're survivors, so.
Yeah, exactly. The next question we have here is, can we please talk about Natalie Dormer? Natalie Dormer did a great job.
She did a good job, yes. What do you guys think of her English accent, though?
I think it was good.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
When I saw like the pictures and everything that she was gonna be, I forgot who that character even was. I didn't even know who she was, and I thought she was gonna be like a soldier. And then I'm like, wait, she's like the director? Like what? Yeah. So I completely forgot her part, but she was awesome. She was so cool.
Yeah.
She's really intense in the second one. Yeah. Like whenever the Mutts are chasing and Katniss realizes that the crew like are unarmed, so she has to give them guns and stuff, and it's intense.
God, I forgot about that. Wait, do they die? I know the guys die, right?
Yeah, well, she doesn't, I don't think. Because it's like, remember they go in twos, like two of them go, and then Gale and Katniss go, and then Peeta goes by himself. Like, this is like right before the whole prim thing happens, when they're like kind of looking like capital people. I cannot wait for that part. I should have said that earlier.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they dress up in wigs and like.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. That's exciting.
I really liked how her character wasn't like good or evil. Like, you know, she is from the capital, and she came like not out of the good of her heart necessarily to help Katniss, but she came to the rebellion. Like, it's the cause. Like, she left on her own, but she also has kind of the shady qualities of like, film this moment. This is really good right here. Like,
I do think though she leans more toward good though, because she is doing it for the rebellion to overthrow Snow, and she did leave like on her own accord, you know.
yeah.
And even though she is directing during this like really intense war, she's doing it so they could do the propo, so that they can get the rebellion moving more.
I think, I guess what you're saying is like she's less emotional about it and more like this is what needs to get done.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh my gosh, Katniss Everdeen, I love you, but rather like, let's film this and get it to the Capitol and stuff, you know.
Just taking care of business.
Oh yeah.
The next question we have here is, did you like when Katniss was having the dream where Peeta came and slept with her? I think that was a good way to put Josh in as a normal human.
I still don't really...
Didn't that happen in Catching Fire? Wasn't that like a scene?
Yeah. It was like a callback to that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought that whole scene was kind of weird. Like, I liked seeing Peeta again and like the little callback to when he was with her in normal, but it was like a dream within a dream, and like what exactly was happening there?
I agree.
Duh. No, but like I feel like they just did it to put Josh in the beginning because he was not in the movie at all.
Yeah, but I don't think it was
I'm
necessary.
not like, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'm lagging. I was just saying.
I'm lagging too.
Oh no. I don't think it was really necessary because Josh had such a huge presence just in his Capitol propos, like, and just seeing him there, I feel like was enough. You know, we wanted to be missing him, not seeing him in dreams inside of dreams.
But I don't know. At the same time, I feel like it shows how Katniss is being affected by all this and how much she does miss him and long for him and like really wants them to rescue him. So I don't know. I see both sides though, definitely.
You know, we see that in like her agreeing to be the Mockingjay with like her only concern is save Peeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like this is more of like a tender thing. Like she doesn't just want to save him because like it's Peeta. She wants to save him because she like loves him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I could see where you don't like it doesn't need to be in there, but I do think it does bring out those certain aspects of Katniss, and I think it does it just brings in Josh. Like it doesn't matter. We just saw him on TV, and I think people want to see him with Katniss because it's like the love triangle. Like,
especially because she wakes up and he's not actually there, so I think that's more effective.
Right.
I did, like, at some point I did want to bring up and ask you guys, like, your opinions on, like, in the books, how Gale is, like, her best friend, and he's there, and there's so much stuff that goes on, but in the book, and I feel like in the movies they've taken a lot out, and some people said that they're trying to focus more on Peeta and Katniss and not this Team Peeta, Team Gale kind of thing, and just cut that out. But it does make me sad, because the first, I think I'm one of the few people, but the first time I read this trilogy, I really liked that, like, relationship they had, the best friend thing, and how he's always, like, taken care of her family, and he's always helped her when she couldn't be there, like, in the Hunger Games. And everything changes in Mockingjay whenever he gets this, like, and he just turns into, like, a soldier, sort of, and everything just kind of starts going downhill, which that's going to be sad to see in the second part. I feel like some people don't like Gale, so they won't care. But
I don't like her.
It was interesting. Like, what did you guys think of how they did take out a lot of, like, I don't know, the interactions between them, I guess?
I feel like it just works to the advantage of the film because we don't really need it in the end.
Yeah.
Like, in the end, it's just like it never pans out to anything. So
Right.
I think taking it, I'm not a big fan of Gale anyway. So
What even happens to Gale in the end? Doesn't Gale just like disappear? Like
he
in
goes
the,
to District 2, right?
Yeah.
He gets a really good job, and the only thing Katniss says about it is she's like, oh, Gale might be like kissing other lips or something right now, and so it's like we don't actually hear very much about him. It just kind of goes back to her recovering,
Right.
and the like her house, and yeah, and then Peeta shows up, and yeah.
I don't know. I like movie Gale more than book Gale, but that's because they left out a lot. They left out a lot of little things. Like they keep doing things slightly differently. Like remember in Catching Fire when Gale finds out that Katniss wants to escape and also take Peeta. Like Gale gets all like pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're bringing your boyfriend to whatever. And in the movie, that didn't happen. In the movie, he was just like, yeah, we're all going to go, okay. So,
Yeah.
like, that made me like him
Yeah,
more.
he's less jealous, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even I don't know. I just remember that scene in the movie in the cabin with the gloves. Remember when they like he came to the cabin and they kissed or something?
That was that scene. That was the same scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really didn't like him then. I just remember hating him in that scene.
Yeah, he like throws the gloves back at her, and he's like, here, you can give these to Peeta.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that very much.
Yeah, I don't remember like specifics. I just remember gloves and not liking Gale.
I'm gonna be really honest. I was like the 1%. The first time I read it, that I was surprised by the ending, but that was like 3 years ago, and now I can't believe I ever thought that. Like rereading them and watching the movies, I'm like, was I blind? Like I usually can. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But like in the end, I like that she talks about how, in a way, like Gale and her are so similar, and they're like fire, and how Peeta's like, what'd you say? He's like the flower or something that keeps like he's the sweet thing in her life that I don't know, but. It's just sad. I think it's just sad because, like, with the whole bombing thing with Prim, like, when Gale says something like the last thing he had going for him was, like, taking care of her family, and he could have been the reason that her sister died. I don't know. It's gonna be emotional.
He died. He invented those stupid bombs.
Yeah, because she's like, were those your bombs or not? And he's like, well, there's no way to tell. And then she's like, well, that was a capital, like, hovercraft thing. And then Snow's like, well, if that was ours, I would have escaped in it. That was not ours, that was the rebels. So there was a little bit like back and forth during the book, but it was the rebels. I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, it was, I think. What was I going to say? For anyone who's just joining us, I just want to let you know that we're taking questions from the Q&A app, which is in one of these corners, and you can click on it and ask us questions, and thumbs up the ones you really like. So we'll see them because we're answering the most thumbs up questions. Does anyone have anything else to add on this one, or should I go to the next one? Next question?
Next question.
Next question. Are we looking forward to the epilogue? It's going to be interesting to see how they do the epilogue.
Yeah.
Like it's like one page, the epilogue in the book, right?
Yeah, it's not very long, is it?
It's
just
basically kind of saying, like, it took 5, 10, 15 years for Peeta to convince her to have kids, and then they had, like, a little boy and girl, and she talks about how the kids, the oldest knows that they're somehow, like, they are somehow connected to the Hunger Games, but the youngest doesn't, and she's just talking about how she's going to tell the little one and how it, like, affected their lives and stuff. But, yeah.
Well, I kind of wonder if they'll even include that in the movie. Like,
or maybe they'll like add stuff to it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they will.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because the movies, at this point, they've all been like cliffhangers where they can just kind of end it, but now it has to be like solid conclusion. So I'm really interested to see how they translate that from the book.
that would
Yeah,
be.
I mean, like,
That makes sense.
if they do put it in, I do think they'll expand it a little bit, or else, like you just said, Kat, they'll just take it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly internal like it's just narration of what's happened. There's not like a real scene that you can latch on.
like they could do a little montage of like their life or something.
Like Twilight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Imagine if they took out the epilogue, like the last few chapters are like Katniss recovering, and then Peeta's there, and then Haymitch is there, and he acts like he's gonna like visit her and stuff, but then he ends up just drinking and kind of resorting back to what Haymitch does to cope, which is really sad because in a way I really do like Haymitch's character at different times in the book. I know he's like an alcoholic and stuff, but it does make me sad that he really nothing else came from the end, I guess, in a way. I don't know. I mean, he survived, but I don't know.
But he got sober in 13, and now he's going to like mess it all up again.
I guess it's kind of like just like
Yeah, I was actually a little mad.
Yeah. Jess, sorry, go ahead.
I think mine's lagging again.
Is everything okay?
It's like.
Just go ahead. You were saying something.
No, it's just like I like started. You guys started to talk, and then it was just blank, and I didn't hear anything for just like the whole minute, and then you guys finished talking, and then it like came back on. So I'm just waiting to hear it, and I'm like, what?
Are we frozen or are we in awkward silence?
Okay, I'll just move on then. We're done with the epilogue. Do you think Finnick should have been in it more? Because I feel like the one thing the movie lacked was the Finnick-Katniss relationship, and I think, yeah, they did take it out. Like, it wasn't in there much.
I would have loved to seen more Finnick-Katniss in the movie, because that's like one of the things that I loved in the book too, was like their friendship. So
they're bonding.
And, they're bonding because they're both missing people that they love, and they come together. So.
Mhm. And like he doesn't even talk about the knots.
Well, they did include like with the rope. Whenever.
Yeah, they included the rope.
Yeah.
They had it, but they didn't. She didn't explain it, and then like because Katniss doesn't she get a little bit of rope and like try it herself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, it's doing it again. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Okay. Okay. I was just going to say that was another thing, like the two kind of issues I had with the movie was that District 13 wasn't harsh and military enough, and that we didn't get enough Finnick, not just for like the comic relief parts, but I feel like his confession at the end where he talks about like what the Capitol put him through, that I feel like some of the power of that was taken away by the way they cut it together with the scene of rescuing Peeta. Like it put more of a focus on that when I kind of wanted us to focus on Finnick and Finnick's story.
Wait, were you just talking about that scene with Finnick? I just zoned out. What did you say about the last thing you said?
The scene where Finnick was giving his propos about what the
Yeah.
And was cut with the rescuing Peeta scenes.
I actually like the way they did that, because if they just sat him down and I mean like you have to concentrate, like you have to listen to like really get it. I mean it just makes it more like less capitally. It's like it's subtle. I don't know. I like it. But it was different in the book, right? Was that part different?
Yeah, we didn't even get to see Peeta getting rescued, did we?
No, we
not
didn't
at all.
rescue. Like, did we see someone talking to like block the signal?
No.
No, it wasn't about blocking the signal. It was about just doing another propos.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm surprised that it took so long for Katniss and Finnick to really like talk, and because they're in the exact same boat. Like when Katniss realizes that by being the Mockingjay, she's hurting Peeta until they rescue Peeta, and like Finnick, when they kind of took Annie and stuff, like Joanna was she said in Catching Fire has how the Capitol. She doesn't love anyone, so the Capitol doesn't have anything on her. But yeah, it took him a long time to really. I feel like Finnick could really help Katniss though, because he really understands, and he's kind of going a little crazy, and that's I don't know. I feel like they could really help each other. So I'm glad that they like talked, and I like their relationship.
Yeah. I just saw a question. What did you think of the CGI that they did on Peeta? And it just really reminded me of Breaking Dawn part.
Yes.
with Bella.
Yeah. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it was like the same technique. It was like Bella giving birth with like PETA.
Yes.
That's Propo.
Like his cheekbone and all of that.
Yeah. Faux show. I was like, oh my god, it's Bella in man form. Let's see. How do you guys feel about the explanation of the A-Box only being brought up in Mockingjay instead of the other two movies? I think it was only relevant when we got to talk to one. We didn't really the other two movies.
Yeah, like it's good to hear about the horrors of what the Capitol does to people, but it hasn't really been relevant up until now. Or it could have been, but they've avoided it up until now.
Yeah.
If it had been brought up in the earlier movies, people would have just forgotten about it if they haven't read the book.
Yeah. What was I going to say? We have a question here. How do you feel about the Rotten Tomatoes rating for the movie, which is what's it called? It's a 65%, and that's a lot of people being like, it was boring, because like before it came out and the critics did it, it was at 85%, and then we brought it down, us humans, non-critics.
I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes, so it doesn't matter.
Rotten Tomatoes just consistently pisses me off, so I don't trust their ratings.
The thing is also 65%. What did you just say?
Don't you trust their ratings?
Me?
Yeah, don't you usually trust their ratings?
I do, but like 65% is a good rating.
Yeah, it's a good rating for that, usually.
For Rotten Tomatoes, even like it's not like phenomenal like Catching Fire was. Catching Fire had a 98%, and okay, Hunger Games had 100%, which I do not agree with, because Catching Fire and Mockingjay were better than Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But
when you just have Hunger Games, and when you compare that to some of the other adaptations that came out at that time, Hunger Games was fantastic.
I mean, yeah, but it's all, I guess, with what's going on at the time, too, that also plays a part in it. But, I don't know. I feel like it was mostly the outside people that brought it down. 65, those bitches. Were you really anxious watching the movie when Prim went to get Buttercup and Gail... Wait, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong section. That one only has 7 ups. Okay, we have a 21 ups. Order the 3 movies from least favorite to favorite. If I'm going to do that, Hunger Games is last, Catching Fire is first, Mockingjay's in the middle.
Same.
I like Mockingjay more than Catching Fire.
What?
I don't know. Like, maybe because I had like freshly reread it and I was like ready to get into it and I enjoyed like every second of it. Not that I didn't with Catching Fire, but like I knew it was coming and I was looking forward to it and I wanted to see how they would do certain things. Like they did things differently rather than like Catching Fire was more of like an exact, really satisfying adaptation. Mockingjay was like, what are they going to do with this? And I really like how they're interpreting it. So I enjoyed it more for that reason.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there was this magicalness to watching Catching Fire, because it was like what was in your brain right before you
on screen.
Thing. Like you never have that. It was just like they took this from my mind. Holy. Like Mockingjay was more of like an adventure. Like how are they going to show it? Because it was so vague that you couldn't even have a clear image.
Yeah, and I think both are valid and great, but I like the adventure more.
Yeah. Let's see here. Did you guys like the short scene with the granddaughter? I wanted the granddaughter to rebel a little bit. She just like took out the braid, like whatever.
Well, it just shows how influenced she is by what's going on around her. Like before, it's like the Hunger Games and Katniss is like the biggest star, and now her grandfather is like any symbol of the Mockingjay is bad and it's the rebellion and she's terrible, and she's just a little girl.
She's just a part of the Capitol's game, like.
Bill's granddaughter, like, she's kind of biased.
I know. I just wanted her to be like, but I like Katniss.
And then Snow pulls out a gun and
just shoots his own granddaughter.
She does. She always does. she probably does still really admire Katniss, but like her grandfather's there saying it's bad, she's bad, and so she's not like happy about taking out her braid. She's not like, yeah, Katniss, screw her. She's like, oh, I can have this.
What if he had come over with a knife and like chopped it off?
It's like had her head shaved.
How dare you bring
Or like Snow's doing his big thing on television in front of everyone, and like right next to there was just some Capitol person or an AVOC shaving his granddaughter's head.
I should use him as an example for the rest of this.
No exceptions.
Do you think we'll get Finnick Odair in his underwear in a deleted scene? I don't know. Do they film it? I don't know.
So I feel like they didn't film it.
Hello?
Hello?
Cat?
I don't think so. I feel like they didn't film it.
I like this question. Next, predictions for the opening scene of Part 2. Do you think they'll jump right into Katniss being in District 2? I don't think so. I think we need a training montage. Yeah. I think it's coming, and I'm excited for it. Yeah, you will open with a scene with her and Peeta, like, doing therapy. She eventually goes in the room with him, right?
I can't remember.
I don't think it will open with Katniss and Peeta together.
They had they didn't want anything with the Capitol or Katniss like talking to Peeta, but they tried. That's when they brought in Deli, who they were kids together, and Deli starts like talking to Peeta, and then later on he says, "I want to see Katniss," and she goes in, and he just like is so. I mean, he's so brutally honest, and it's just he talks about like kissing him, and kissing Gale, and she's like, I don't know, and he's like, "You're a piece of work," and just it was and then she goes off saying that she hates him, and I don't know where it's gonna start, because remember she wants to become like a soldier and fight and go to the Capitol, but what Kat was talking about with the schedule, she just like disregarded all the training, so she has to train.
They do a simulation? Don't they do a simulation like where she has to like fight and it's
to train?
What if they opened on that?
What if we open on the wedding?
No, we won't do that.
Why not?
That's way too complicated.
I really don't think they'll open like with Katniss and Peeta together though, because I think they know that's what we want right away. So I think they're gonna make us wait a good 10 minutes for that.
Unless they open it like the screen is black and they're talking and he's being harsh and she's being like, "Oh yeah, sorry." Like.
What if it's like a flashback to Peeta like choking her, and it's just Katniss dreaming, and she's like, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot, Peeta's crazy," and like, and then it starts into like, because she just wants to like leave and get out of there, and it's bad. I feel so bad for Katniss in a lot of this book.
I mean, I think there's a good chance of it opening up on like a training simulation. I think that's something that they'd like to do. I'm thinking of that Men in Black scene with that training simulation with the aliens right now. Like I can't remember what hers was like.
Hers was all about following orders, because Katniss never listens to anyone, and she's just very rash, and to be supposed to listen. So remember, she's gonna steal the day, and then they're like drop down, and she like thinks about it because it's like her flaw or whatever, and then she like drops down, and someone else like saves the day, and then she like passes. Joanna's was really sad though with the water, because that's how they tortured her with the like electrocuting and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really sad, intense.
Yeah.
That book is fun. I was just like in the book, there's that whole scene where Haymitch is like, "If you don't keep your earpiece in, I will like put a cage around your face to hold it in, and it's surgically implanted in your head."
Yeah, we don't really
go like, "Okay, I'll listen." Jeez.
We didn't have that, like, with the orders set up at all, like that she wasn't taking orders.
Yeah, we don't have her rebelling as much as it is her just, like, doing her own thing, kind of, and, like, not being trustworthy. Like, Coin is like, I don't think this girl can do it, she's too broken. It's not like, I don't think this girl can do it because she's off on her own, she's a loose rocket.
Yeah. She's a loose rocket.
Like, when she gets shot, she just jumps out there, and they're like, Katniss, what are you doing? And then next thing she knows, there's a gun on her, and then next thing she knows, she, like, sees herself getting shot on TV, and it's like...
The next question we have here is one we've already answered. What was your favorite scene that wasn't in the movie? I'm just going to go with Phoenix underwear. You guys?
Agree.
I
can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, but that's the only one that comes to mind.
So no one has a different one. Should we move on?
I mean, they didn't take out that much, I feel like. You know what I mean? So I don't, We've talked about that one, but I don't know of a lot of other scenes they, like, left out.
Yeah.
The little things like Finnick not being as much of a presence and District 13 not being so controlling.
Right.
That little stuff.
Guys, do you keep hearing the bell?
No.
You don't keep hearing it switch bell?
No.
That kept happening to me when I hosted a live show a few weeks ago. But
what is going on? I keep feeling like
I'm not hearing it.
I'm not hearing it.
I'm not either.
A little ding every 15 seconds.
So annoying. Okay. Which scene left you the most emotionally drained overall? And for me, it was the choking scene.
The hanging tree.
Oh yeah, that was good
The
too.
attack, or that whole thing. When everyone started singing that, I got goosebumps.
I think
I started crying.
the hospital scene was really emotional too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It wasn't the choking scene that was emotionally draining. That was, like, emotionally shocking.
Yeah.
But afterwards, when she wakes up, and it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, and I think the reason, I agree, I think the reason is because we're so excited to get PETA back, and he's just such a good character, and he's such a good person, and then he comes back like a monster, and it's just so terrible that, like, the one good person has been, like, hijacked and kind of destroyed, and it's just sad.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, that's how I felt in the book. I was just, like, so excited for PETA. And then he comes back and he's not PETA. It's like, are you effing kidding me right now? I can't handle any more depressing things. Like, it's just so sad. The whole book was so sad. These questions, we already answered them. I'm confused. Does anyone have an opinion on what was the most accurate scene to what you thought it would look like in the book?
The thing is, I don't feel like a lot of scenes were accurate so much as they were just better and, like, beautifully adapted. Like Katniss in District 12, like, going over all the, like, the remains and the ashes, like, that was better than I imagined.
I think after reading it and then watching the movie, or, like, backwards, the hospital, like, when they go to, was it District 8, and then she visits the hospital, and she kind of talks to people, and then she leaves, and when they get, like, her shot, when she's actually being real, and that is, like, that scene is, like, how I exactly imagined it. But the rest of it, I agree with you guys, and I think the movie was, in some ways, like, even better than I imagined it.
Yeah, I just put up a question. Where did it go? It was like, what would you do if you were in Katniss's shoes? Do you think you would have made her same decisions? Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? And, like, we can't really know because of how emotionally effed up she is after the Hunger Games. Like, I don't know how I would be.
Everything that she's been through.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to really quick say that we're going to cap this off at 5:20. I think sounds good because we're kind of just, So a lot of the questions are looking really similar. So that's 20 more minutes, well 17. So remember to up the questions you like so we can get to them. Do you think Hunger Games will pull a Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 in terms of something happening in the final movie that doesn't happen in the book? I don't think so. There's so much.
Going to die.
What did you just say?
I think Effie is going to die.
Oh my gosh, that would kill me.
That would kill me too.
Oh.
No, I'm mad you said it because I wasn't thinking about it.
No, I wasn't thinking about that either. I never even thought about that happening.
But it makes sense. Oh no.
She's gonna die. She is.
Yeah, you look so satisfied.
As soon as I saw the first trailer for Mockingjay Part 1, and I was like, oh right, Effie's in the movie, and look at her, and oh my god, they're gonna kill her, aren't they?
I can't believe you just spoiled that for me.
Christy.
It might not happen.
It's gonna happen. Oh my god.
I wonder if the whole scene with like Snow and Coin, and we already talked about how we're excited to see that scene, but I wonder if it's gonna go exactly how the book has it, and how Snow starts laughing, and then later they find his body, and they don't know if he like literally laughed to death, like when he was like kind of choking, or if the crowd like kind of killed him. Remember that?
Yeah.
I hated the whole parts with all the poison, and like that was so gross. Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, that description
When
is
Frank was talking about how the roses like cover the scent.
yeah. It was just gross. It was just gross. I was just picturing these big pus sores in his mouth, and I was like, nasty. Francis Lawrence said that they had a scene between Peeta and Snow that they cut. Do you wish they showed more in the Capitol with the torture? I thought that we were going to see more of Peeta actually being tortured, but I guess it had more of an impact on us being like Katniss, like seeing, just the after effects.
Right.
Like maybe we will see it in the next movie as like Peeta kind of recapping, like going through his therapy, talking about what happened, and Joanna
maybe like flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't they torture him so that he would basically be hijacked to kind of destroy Katniss, whereas they tortured people like Joanna because she actually knew information, whereas people like Peeta really didn't know very much. So they kind of tortured them in different ways, I think, sort of.
I mean, like, I feel like they did torture Peeta before they actually completely hijacked him.
They need to find out that he knew nothing by torturing him.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. What do you guys think about everyone shipping Cressida and Gale? What? I didn't hear about this ship. I didn't know that existed. I'm for it. I'm down.
Sure.
Yeah, but I could be okay with that.
Just Tiernan?
I've never thought of that.
I don't really care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Someone asked, and there's like 5 thumbs ups on this question. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman who died, but they said it's the actor who played Snow.
No.
So, like before they finished, and didn't they have to do some stuff with Philip Seymour Hoffman, like with him not actually there? Like,
But not in this movie because they had this one mostly finished. But in the next one, they did have to do like some CGI stuff with him.
so
So we haven't seen it yet. We don't have. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I mean, if there was any in this movie, it was really well done. I couldn't tell anything.
I know. Sometimes I would be looking at him like, is that actually him?
Yeah, no, I think this was him. I think he was in there the whole time.
Yeah, I do too, but... And then Jennifer was wearing a wig. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too. Like, I noticed in the trailers, but like, I didn't notice in the movie. You guys?
I didn't notice at all.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice in any of them though. Wait, no. In what was the other movie where someone was wearing a wig?
Bella and Eclipse.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, it was scandalous then. Like, I noticed it, but it wasn't a big
I remember that
deal.
scandal.
It was, like, the internet exploded
Yeah.
when they found out that she was wearing it.
How
Like,
dare she?
how dare she still have her cut hair from that Joan movie, Joan
Yeah.
Jett? If the characters from Divergent and The Hunger Games met, who would be besties and who would be the first to kill each other? Katniss would just kill everyone because she doesn't trust anyone. She has a problem. Grace would be like, oh, I can't use my gun, so, well, I guess I'll just die.
I feel like PETA would be friends with everyone. I mean, well, I guess depending on at like what point we're talking about PETA is at.
Yeah.
I think PETA would like try to talk to someone and Katniss would be like, no, PETA kills them just so to protect him.
I don't like thinking about these two worlds colliding. It's not working in my head.
I'm like dropping characters because I keep forgetting who else would be there. I guess 4 would probably not want to talk to them either because he's like protective.
I feel like 4 and Katniss would really butt heads.
Yeah, they would. They're both annoying when it comes to like friendship. Let's see. I already did this one. Okay. What do you think the reaction of this movie in terms of real world if we burn was graffitied in Ferguson, then the movie is good? Tyler, have you been around? I don't know. I don't really have anything to say on that. You guys? You see this question?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I heard about some of this, like people in other countries, like using Mockingjay symbol and like signs of rebellion, and like those guys were like outlawing these signs of rebellion. And I don't know, the world in the Hunger Games is a little too close to our current world for comfort. Like there's a lot of parallels that we're kind of living in a borderline dystopian society.
We really are.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why she wrote it like she did. I mean, she was making a political statement in some ways, a lot of ways. If you could change anything about the movie, what would it be? I think we've already kind of answered this. More Finnick. What did you guys say? More Finnick?
Yeah.
More Finnick, more Coin being evil, because she just seems like she seems good in this movie. Like a little manipulative, but not like she's going to ruin the country if she becomes leader. Like if someone has to be a leader, why not Coin? We don't have any reasons for not Coin.
Yeah, there were a few questionable moments for her, but this really wasn't her movie. That'll come.
Even in the book, when she's talking, she's like much more calculating in the book, where she's talking to Katniss and she's like, "Oh yeah, do you want Gale to be presented as your new lover?" Like, I think that might be a little bit weird since PETA was just your lover. And Katniss is like, "What? Excuse me? Wait, what? I just want to go hunting with Gale. What?"
Yeah. We have another question here that I thought was interesting. If you could play any character in the movie, who would you want to play? And, like, I don't know. I guess most of us would want to play, I don't know. I would want to play Katniss, but if I couldn't, I would do Effie.
I was just going to say, I would be Effie.
Yeah. I kind of want to be President Snow. I want to be evil.
I'm just, like, picturing you as...
I mean, I'd have to be much older, obviously, but...
I think I'd want to be Joanna. That seems like a fun role.
That'd be fun.
Maybe like Joanna from like Catching Fire. Not so much Mockingjay, maybe.
Yeah, Joanna would be fun. Tierna, did you say who you would play?
Yeah, Effie.
Effie. Okay.
I really like your President Snow answer, Jesse. So I'm thinking about that right now.
Let's see. I honestly feel like Katniss would find Triss so annoying and unnecessary. But, like, Triss would find Katniss annoying and unnecessary.
It really depends on what point in the timeline we're talking about with these. So.
Yeah, it really does.
Is Allegiant being split?
Allegiant split.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not that one, Christine?
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one. Like, I was shocked at first, but, like,
Maybe they'll make it better.
Yeah, I have faith that they're gonna make it better because like they can't make it worse.
Yeah.
It's gotta be better. They gotta flesh
Don't
it out.
challenge them, Christine. You don't know what they can do.
They won't. I have faith in them. I mean, we'll see how Insurgent goes. You know, if it's still as good as the first one, then I think I have faith in them.
That's the thing is, the first one was good, but I'm nervous about Insurgent. I feel like
too.
making
That
these-
teaser trailer,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the teaser trailer.
No.
The teaser trailer wasn't even a trailer, you guys. There's nothing to judge yet.
Yeah, but the fact that they're putting, I mean, I guess their trailers haven't been that great. Like the Hunger Games
The
marketing.
Divergent trailer is like terrible too.
Yeah, the Divergent trailers have sucked. Even the first movie one sucked.
Yeah.
Okay, I went into the first movie with not high expectations and ended up loving it. So I'm just gonna maintain my not high.
Maintain the low expectations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna maintain the expectations of what I had for the first one. But like the thing is, we haven't gotten a trailer yet. We haven't gotten anything. Like that was
The movie comes out in like 3 months.
they weren't ready to put out a trailer. Like even that, like I think they rushed CGI on that scene and threw that out.
Yeah.
That they're not ready yet. They're editing.
When do you think we'll get a trailer for Insurgent?
Maybe Christmas or the beginning of January. Like I think soon, but like I don't know exactly. Because what movie would it be with right now? I don't know what it would run with.
50 Shades of Grey.
Doubtful. Doubtful.
They could run something in front of The Hobbit, maybe.
Maybe.
Otherwise, yeah, there's like no movies until when?
I mean, there's 50 Shades. Wait, there's something else coming out on Valentine's Day. Oh wait, no, SpongeBob. That's not a movie.
There's something else though.
When is
but
the Duff coming out? When is the Duff?
Oh, the Duff. It doesn't have a date yet. It's
Oh,
just
it
like
doesn't
tell me.
have a date.
Oh, that's not. Oh, I thought that might have been February.
I mean, I don't think they're. I don't know. They haven't announced it, so I don't think they have a set date yet. Maybe they're trying to get some their negotiations for a day. Someone said if some people say that Divergent people don't know how to advertise. Do you agree? Yeah, I don't think they have the best marketing crew.
I would agree with that.
Or they have to hire a new like trailer cutting company. I think it's mostly the trailers.
So choppy. It's so choppy.
Yeah, I did like the posters. Did you see those?
The posters were awesome. Like the interactive ones that like move. Yeah, those are sick. Yeah.
But even just the Hunger Games marketing overall, like the way they do the pro pose and just everything.
Yeah, they got a great team. I mean, granted, that was like planted in the book, but like the fact that they did it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be interesting to have a prequel for the Hunger Games series? I definitely think that would be interesting. I'd read it.
I think. Well, movie or book?
What are you talking about? The book first and then movie.
I would love like a book or a movie of like Haymitch in the games.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Or Finnick in the games. Any of the characters we know in their games.
Yeah, I want to see Haymitch's games. Or Finnick's games would probably be really interesting.
Yeah.
Joanna's games, where she pretended to be like meek and tiny little girl and then started killing everyone with an axe.
Yeah, I think if they did a prequel, it'd have to be like one of those characters like Haymitch or someone. Because if it was Katniss, what would it be of? Just like her hunting and trying to survive.
Oh, yeah, it couldn't be Katniss.
In District 12, like it wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, it would have to be. I think Haymitch is the strongest competitor, like to be a prequel, because he was one of the Quarter Quell things.
Yeah. Or we could do a prequel of the Hunger Games being established, like that.
Or we could do like the first rebellion.
Yeah. That's the whole trilogy right there. The first rebellion, the Hunger Games being established, District 13 getting bombed and going into hiding.
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't talk about, we talked about like the ending with Snow and Coin and stuff, but no one's asked this and we didn't talk about it. When I reread this book, I totally forgot about Coin coming up with the idea of doing another Hunger Games with the Capitol's children. I totally forgot about that. So I wonder if that's still going to be a thing and like that's going to be interesting in like the second movie, like how they all voted, and there's only, what was it, like 5 of them left or something, and that was like total how many victors there were that like were still living, like Haymitch, Peeta, Katniss, Finnick wasn't there. I don't remember. There was like a couple others.
And that was it, yeah.
But that's gonna be interesting, and like that whole scene was kind of insane.
I think they're gonna have to put that in just to, like, because that's the thing that really convinced Katniss, like, Coin has to go.
Yeah. She's clearly an unfit leader. Like, no.
Yeah, I definitely think they're gonna put that in. Like, that was a big, impactful thing that she tried to do. Okay, we're at 5:19. I want to answer the question. So, what is Booksplosion's next book of the month? And
Blankets. Blankets by Craig Thompson.
Ooh.
Oh, pretty.
I'm doing hashtag blanket explosion because I like that.
I thought it was going to be blanket spaces.
But that was too long. Blanket space baby. What do you think?
Let us know if you have hashtag ideas.
Yeah,
We'll tweet it out later.
We'll tweet it out later.
We'll tweet it out later. I think Blanket Explosion is pretty nice and easy.
The live show will be the first Saturday in January. I want to say
January 3rd.
January 3rd? Okie dokie.
Yes.
Right after New Year's, guys.
Right after the New Year's.
So, thank you everyone for joining us for our Mockingjay live show and asking questions and being here. There's like 321 people here right now. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Christine. Come on, guys.
I'm Jesse.
We didn't plan to do this outro. We don't know.
You were not prepared for this, Christine.
Just say your name.
Yes, Jessica.
Bye.
Wait, did Tiernan say goodbye?
Yes, I heard bye.
Okay,
Bye.
that's Jesse, that's Jess. God, that's Tiernan, I'm Christine. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Go get blankets and